Good morning. Happy Friday, everybody. Um, Today, Lucy and I are going to be talking a little bit of eBay and Amazon. This is the perfect time of year to really ramp up your eBay sales for those of you that sell on eBay. And there's lots of great deals out there in the stores, there's yard sales. It's just the season and the weather for doing that. And then we also have a few Amazon tips and things to share with you guys this morning. Good morning, Lucy.
Good morning. Good morning. So I wanted to, we didn't discuss this beforehand, but I wanted to do the questions that we started off with, and then do your stories, and then my stuff is mainly like just there was a lot of announcements in the last week or so, and nothing was super critical, but they were just Amazon announcing stuff. It seems like every May they roll out a lot of new things or.
Yep, they let Q4 pass and the first quarter of the year pass, and then they start with the rollouts. So today's kind of going to be a combo eBay Amazon show. So do you want to start off with Amazon or eBay?
Questions first.
Okay.
Questions first and then eBay. All right. So Mary Angela says, hi, could you explain how to get G10 exemptions for variation on your own branded bundle? You got it for the parent, but not for children. No, you got it for everything, hon. You got it for everything.
Yeah, so if it's not working on the children, then there's something wrong.
Right. And you may have gotten it for like 96 hours. You may have gotten it for a particular category and not another category. So once you get G10 exemption, like say you get G10 exemption in food, then you have it. There's no child parent thing. So that doesn't make sense, but maybe I misunderstand. So clarify if you want. And then I got a return on a bundle saying it's not as described. How do I know what they decided was incorrectly described? But you can go find comments in the back section. If you click the three little dots, go down to fulfillment, go over to fulfillment, down towards the left column, you will see returns. You can see voice to the customer, return reasons. If you've recalled products, you can get a breakdown of your recalled products. If you need to file safety claims, you can go find all that information there because they'll ask for the shipping ID, order ID. They'll ask for all that stuff. It's all down in that area.
And I want to say sometimes the reason why they say item is not as described is because you get a free return to Amazon. So sometimes it means I bought it, I got it, now I just really don't want it. So if that is constantly a reason why you're getting returns on it, then yes, you're definitely going to have to investigate that. If it was just that one time, I wouldn't really worry about it that much.
Yeah. I use the voice of the customer and that return area to look at. I would say quarterly is
comment. Yeah.
Probably more like twice a year, maybe. And just see if there's any trends. If I see arrive broken, then that means I need to up my packing game. If I get, size wrong, color wrong, then something's going on. There's a pattern. Yeah. Okay. So Tina has not divulged anything to me because I don't know, she's like that. So what's going on with eBay? You went to the bins, right?
I did. I went to the Goodwill store because like everybody else out there, and that's why the deals are just in abundance. We have been doing spring cleaning, right? We do these kind of things a couple times a year in our house, as most people do. So as we've been clearing out closets, that we didn't do last year, we go to make donations to the Goodwill. When we go do that, we walk through the Goodwill, right? And the Goodwill has just been full of great stuff. And I'm sure because people like me are doing spring cleaning and donating these great items. And then I also went this week to the Goodwill bins, and the bins is just dirt cheap because it's a weigh and pay. So I love this time of year to ramp up my eBay. Amazon slows down because Q4 is over, Q1 and Easter and all of that has passed, and things kind of come to an even field for me, and it gives me more time to really jump back into eBay. I love doing eBay half the year. So I did want to share some things that I discovered. I have never looked at the section in the Goodwill for, say, people that have donated hairsprays or lotion or conditioner. Now, I did always historically look at things like the Victoria's Secret sprays because I know that those can sell well, or perfume. I never considered looking at hair conditioner or makeup items because I think they expire, they get rancid. I don't know. The thought of that just seemed gross to me. I ran across a YouTuber who always looks at that section and sells his stuff on eBay, and people buy it even though it's expired because these things are discontinued. You can no longer get them. So, to my surprise, when I was at the binge yesterday, and they maybe had stuff like that before at the bins when I've gone in the past. I don't know. But there was makeup in this bin and ladies were grabbing it. And I'm like, let me get in on this. So as they were putting things down, I was picking them up. And so I was just picking them up and putting in my bag because they were brand new. And I didn't even look them up because the bins, everything is so cheap. I just threw them in my bag. If they look good and new, I kept them. My bill was $21 at the binge yesterday.
Big
And
spender.
with this $21 bill, let me tell you guys, I got two things for ourselves. My husband found a leaf blower, that Ryobi brand leaf blower that works with the battery, so it's cordless. And he's like, it was the same leaf blower we have here at our house. He's like, I'm going to just get this. He said, put my battery on it at home and see if it works. Sure enough, it did.
Nice.
We also got it out in my living room, so it's a little too big and bulky to bring in. But I found a Graco baby swing, the electric kind, the one you put the batteries in and you turn it on, it swings back and forth. I found a comparable one to that one on on Amazon, and it cost $100. The reason I bought it, as I don't think I've announced on our YouTube, is my son and his girlfriend are having a baby. So I will be a grandma by the end of the year. So my eyes have been out on baby stuff. So I got also this Graco baby swing, this leaf blower, as part of my $21 spend. I love the bins. Okay. So
hold on. Is he going to sit on the couch with the leaf blower, the kid, and have the leaf blower swing the kid?
Look, you got to do what you got to do. So I found they had a bunch of this Estee Lauder stuff in the bins. And so see, it's in the box. I opened it yesterday and it is brand new. It's some base makeup, an SPF base makeup. This particular makeup is being sold on eBay. I'm sure all of these are technically expired, discontinued, and they're selling for roughly $50. I found this exact shade on eBay, and the person had 5 listed. They've already sold 4 for over $100 for this base makeup. I also got this at the Goodwill binge yesterday.
Hold on, can I share screen on?
Absolutely.
On things? Hold on.
So don't pass up, you guys, on makeup. And like I said, I always passed up. I just happened to watch a YouTuber, and this is her sweet spot on eBay. So I thought, hey, I'll take a look.
Was it the lady who lives north of me?
No, this is a YouTuber that lives in Ohio.
There's a lady that lives north of me that's always posting. She does awesome in my area, and I'm like, I want to run into her. Because she goes to the TJ Maxx's and stuff. She's always posted Thrift to Travel. It's either Thrift to Travel or Travel to Thrift. Both good Instagrammers to watch, but really cool stuff. Okay, so for Victoria's Secret, what I did, guys, is I went up here, Victoria's Secret perfume, and then I went price high to low, and then I did what has actually sold. So this is crazy.
And this is because you cannot get these anymore. So if people have it and they just didn't use it or whatever, and they've donated it to a thrift store, or if this stuff is at yard sales, you have got to grab it. There is such big money in these discontinued scents or makeups. Now look up mine. This is Estee Lauder.
Oh, this is the other tab. So I did Estee Lauder, and
that's them.
I just did base, and
yeah, fine.
I mean, this is worth
outrageous, right? Now, this is weigh and pay at the bins. I mean, how much do you think this weighed? And this was also part of my $21 haul yesterday.
And even if you get it and lo and behold, it it's not good. You've spent 50 cents and you've learned something. Now you know what to look for or what not to look for. It's the same with scanning. Some people get upset. Oh, I went and I scanned and I spent a half an hour scanning. Okay, so you're a half an hour smarter than you were yesterday. You know,
Yeah.
it's not.
Now, I also part of in that same little bin. See, whatever's in the bin, like that makeup, then that's what they threw. So it's not like it's going to be in all these other bins. So if you find something good in the bin you're looking at, continue to look. These are different Revlon lipsticks. You can see they still have that plastic seal around them. These are brand new. And it's awesome because it has a clear lid. So I can see that these lipsticks are not melted and ruined inside, right? Because that might have been a concern if I couldn't see. So this is one of those kind that have the clear tops. And each one of these, I looked up the exact colors of these. I can't remember what they were, but I want to say this green one. Yes, this particular one, I want to say was going for $45. And again, how much do you think this cost at the bins in, a weigh-in pay? And then they always have the numbers on the bottom so you can specifically look these up.
What's the number? I'll put it in right
now. This particular one is number 700.
I think my grandmother had those. Those look so familiar.
Yeah, they're those like pink shades. One's a darker pink and one's like an almost like white.
I remember that
kind of container. Yeah. And when it's obsolete and this was somebody's favorite color, they're not going to be able to get it anymore.
Or some of this vintage stuff has been used in movies and shows. There's so many period pieces that they need just stuff laying around.
Absolutely. I don't know for those of you that also sell on eBay. And the reason why I wanted to cover eBay too is because a lot of us Amazon sellers started on eBay. So we have those skills, or we do both. And so if you also do eBay, these are some things for you to keep your eye out when you're sourcing is for, things like this, like makeups that are unused, even if they are old, it does not matter.
Yeah, you can easily get $50 to $70. I'd mark that at $69.99. Buy it now. See if you get any offers. And
yes.
Now, I got a question for you.
Yeah.
Are you going to ship it with ice packs? Because we are getting close to that.
Yes. If I have these listed this summer, they will have to be listed with ice packs. So I may list them now and ship with ice packs, or I may hold on to them and just wait until it's getting, after summer, closer to Christmas time.
Yeah, that'd be you may get a little bit more in Christmas.
And I don't have money tied up in this. Remember, this is all part of my $21 haul yesterday. Okay. I think that was a $21 well spent. And so I don't have a lot of my capital tied up in this little bit of makeup to have to feel the urgency to list it right now. Right. It's not like I'm trying to recoup on my spend. Now, this is one that's unexciting, unsexy. My husband found this because he was with me at the bins. I tried to wipe it down.
I'm leaning in like I could see better or something here.
This is a light that would go over art on your wall. I have bought these before at a local thrift store. And at the thrift store, I want to say I paid like $5 for them. And I sold them for almost $50 a piece. So my husband recalled those from us buying them at the thrift store last year. It was around last year this time. I found these exact things. And so he grabbed this at the bins, and I looked up this one, and those also, they can be everywhere. They can be like $11. They can be, $45. And this particular one sells and has sold for about $45.
That's crazy.
It is. And I can send you a link right here, Lucy, in our private chat if you want to pull. I just quickly did a search for this one in the solds. Oops, sorry. I sent you the search thing, not the. Let me try that again. There you go.
I like going to the bins in Portland. Portland has really good bins. And my friends down there, Portland Pickers, are down there. And I know Nicole State, it's the one that Nicole State shops at too. but I'll call them and we go to the bins together and we just have a hoot. I mean, it is, and they do a lot of larger items like
Hmm.
big motors and pieces
Yeah.
and stuff. And it's fun. It's always fun to go to the bins. My
See,
mother won't go though.
see, look at how high those prices can be. And you'll see a lot of low prices. These are all over the place. But I
Just
promise
a
you
remote is
this
50
high.
bucks.
Oh, yeah. I have found remote controls at the bins. Last year, I found a Hunter ceiling fan remote in a package like this one, this plastic package. In fact, I
Yeah.
shared it on our live last year. And I want to say I got $60 for that remote. And I also found that at a bit at the bins. Now, keep in mind, when I found that one at the bins, just like my husband finding this light, these are bins that all, I mean, it's all resellers at the Goodwill bins, right? This is after they have already picked through the bins. They're just not looking at this stuff. And so
I mean,
that's,
my location is not resellers.
huh?
My location that's close to me is not resellers.
Oh, well, that's even better because they're just going to be grabbing what they want. And
I don't know.
this location is almost all resellers. And so it's really fun to go there. And I haven't been there since last year uh, because, all through Q4 and everything, I'm just not doing eBay. But eBay is such a great money maker for the summer. And when you have a little bit more time, when Amazon slows down a bit, it's just such a great money maker. And that's not even everything I got yesterday. So I would say that was a $21 very well spent. And the ROI on it is much higher than what I get on Amazon. So keep those things in mind. And then the last thing I had really wanted to talk about in regards to uh, eBay, as far as going to the Goodwill or to the bins, is going to yard sales because everybody is doing yard sales right now. And so there are websites. I know one is Yard Sale Treasure Map. And this is only for
Yes.
people who actually take the time to announce their yard sale on a yard sale map. So you can definitely look there if you have the Nextdoor app. If you want to look on your local Facebook places for people who want to announce that they're having yard sales, you can really lay out a nice little map for yourself of where to go and hit yard sales. And then a lot of times, some of the yard sales that aren't on the map, you're just going to pass them as you're driving around. In fact, today, after our live, we are considering going to an estate sale that starts today. So, estate sales are also another really, really great place to find inventory for flipping on eBay. And keep in mind, you can sell used items on Amazon. Amazon has that new and used button. And keep that in mind too. If they are items that are Amazon that maybe they're out of stock because it's now a discontinued item on Amazon, even though your item may be new, you will still want to list it as used because we don't have invoices for them. And you can also list these things on Amazon. I've done that before. I've gone to the Goodwill and I remember I found it was cassette tapes, still brand new in the package for learning French. And I sold it on Amazon as used, and it brought in good profit. So, keep some of those flips in mind. And that is all I had to say about sourcing and flipping on eBay at this time of the year when yard sales and deals are in abundance with people clearing out closets.
Yeah, it's always interesting to hear kind of what's going on. I remember I know I've followed some people that they do a lot of the VHS tapes, and especially when COVID hit, people want to watch their old whatever family videos. They have
Hmm.
old Disney DVDs that the kids can not DVDs, VHSs that the kids can then play, and or they have whatever reason there was demand for it, and so VHS players, I can't find them. Like my Goodwills and my Value Villages took out all the silverware, and I'm like, great, because I have teenagers, so I have no spoons. So I was wanting to get some more spoons, and they don't have it, which is weird, and they don't have VHS players anymore because they're too hot, they fly off the shelves. But yeah, I'll see in my feeds every once in a while, oh, look at this. I found this weird thing, what I saw one the other day for silver. Yeah, I don't find silver ever because silver is taken by resellers.
Oh
Anyway.
yeah. Well, and here the Goodwills hold all that stuff back. It never hits the shelves.
Ours are definitely, they
Yeah.
hog everything. And ours are notorious for selling counterfeit stuff too. So just be aware that Coach purse may not be a Coach purse, but they may be selling it like a Coach purse because they don't really care. Even if you tell them it's fake, they'll be like, no, it's not. They're weird. All right. FOAB. Good morning. Good morning. And good morning, Nate, Karen, Reno, Mary Angela, Cynthia. Good morning. Nice to see all you guys. Hello. Has anybody been regated in a brand after receiving an inauthentic claim? Yep.
Yes.
Fellow reseller was regated for Nike after one of those. Yep. You can be regated if you sell counterfeit stuff.
Yes, absolutely.
I don't know if you're surprised, but if Amazon thinks you're selling counterfeit stuff, they're going to tell you not to. They're going to shut that down.
And for those of you who know Nate in the chat, he's here today. I did want to share that if anybody happens to be watching who is in Las Vegas, his son is having a show launching his fashion line. And this is his Instagram, VSZ Souls. And May 25th, he has a show kicking off his clothing line. If anyone is here in Vegas and would like to go check that out and support a local reseller, young entrepreneur, please go ahead and check him out.
Neat. That's cool. Okay, hold on. I'm trying to get my life together here. I hit the wrong button. Okay, so for news in the Amazon world, we're going to talk about some stuff, some of the stuff we do, some of the stuff we don't do. So it's just good to know kind of what's out there because you may not use it today, but you may be in your brain for later. I have a lot that goes in the brain. Much comes right back out of the brain, but hey, sometimes I'll be like, hey, I saw that somewhere. First was announced 30 Up labels, and I was going to pull the email, but thank you, Reno or Casey, one of y'all shared that this morning, that it is now a print option. So if you are using Inventory Lab and you're like, I'm still, you're using 30 Up labels, which is a sheet 8.5 by 11 sheet that has 30 labels on it to run through the printer. And you always have to go over and print labels. Elsewhere, they now have the option to print 30 Up labels.
That is huge. That really is a huge help because a lot of newer sellers don't have the funds or don't want to spend funds to buy the expensive Dymo or Rollo printers. And I remember when I first started Amazon, I did buy mine right away because I could not figure out how to line up those stupid labels, those 30 Up. I just could not for the life of me do it. Now, my friend who was also reselling with me, that's all she used. And she had no problem lining it up. But it was really cumbersome because she only needed so many of one and she would do that. And that spot was blank on her sheet of paper. And, she was always fumbling with it, but she didn't care. I mean, for her, it worked just fine. But when you're new and just starting and you are not printing out an abundance of labels, that is really such a great feature that they are offering now. Because for people like me who have a hard time getting those margins to line up, it takes all of that frustration out.
I don't know what margins you lined up. I just hit 30 Up and then put it in the printer and it.
Well, this was years ago, so I don't know. All I know is it wasn't lining up on the printer I had. I mean, I'm going back to 2014, so I really don't remember what it was. I just could not get those dang things to line up. They were printing like off the sticker, and it was a mess.
God. Yes. Well, and I've caught myself several times in this last week talking about weird things and then like holding back. Like right now, I'm holding back, but I'm gonna share anyways, just to say these are the things that really age you. Do you remember the printer with the things on the side, and then you'd have to tear the side off?
Yes, I do.
I used to love tearing those sides off on the printer.
Oh yeah,
back in the days. And then I'm like, shoot, I'm old. I need to not say things like.
And Reno said that Casey posted it. I know she shared that with us this morning. I don't know what he means by she posted it.
Oh, the picture. I took the picture from the.
Oh.
So I'm going to share the email, and then the email just says there's 30 Up. So I thought I'd share the screenshot.
Yeah.
Better thing. But Casey shared. So All right, next is pretty much screenshots from emails. I just went through my emails this week. I'm like, oh my God, there's so many emails, and I didn't even post them all from Amazon. But we've got they're really pushing the Amazon global logistics with the ship to Amazon warehouse distribution for bulk storage. So what they're wanting you to do is they're wanting you, for the private label Alibaba people out there, is they're wanting you to order, if your manufacturer says you got to order 1,000 widgets, they want you to ship the 1,000 widgets to the AWD, and for a small fee, they will hold it and they'll feed it into Amazon at whatever, 100 at a time or whatever the velocity demands, instead of trying to do smaller shipments with your manufacturer and then going to a third party or I have some clients that have it in their garage and they're like, oh my God, one lady has teacups. She's like, I've got 800 teacups in my garage. I'm like, oh my God. It seems like the Mad Hatter over there, but it's becoming a logistical nightmare. And then I did want to share along those lines how I'm now doing my inventory lab shipments, because we talked last week. I've been using it all week, maybe even 2 weeks. I can't remember how long I've been playing with this, but a week, 2 weeks. And let's say I want to send out 25 of these mugs. And we talked last week about putting in just like 4 or 5. So that way I only go to ship to 4 or 5 places. And then you can up that number from 1 to 7 and fill up your boxes. So I've been doing that. I had some large orders and then I push it through, and then I've been filling up the boxes till they're full and then manipulating it that 1 through 7 till the boxes get full and shipping it out. And now I'm down to, I got 1 more out of that whole thing, and I believe it's split to 6 places. So interesting, you got to adapt. And is it my favorite way to do things? No, but it's just different. So as soon as I get used to it, it's like not so bad.
I had something happen in Inventory Lab yesterday that has never happened before. In fact, I need to go back in there and check. So my husband was working in Inventory Lab because he creates the shipments and prints and does the things. So then when it's time to do the shipping labels and put the things in the boxes, I'm usually on my laptop saying, okay, we need 2 of the, and we just have our system. So anyway, he had already closed out the batch to divide it to the different warehouses.
Mm-hmm.
So when I logged into my laptop, it doesn't show that. It still showed it.
Don't mess with it.
Didn't know. So I clicked, and so it doubled everything, right? So we have 2, 2, 2, and 2 of everything. So I kind of sort of did that manipulation thing like you did. I went through it. I titled the ones that were the double. I just put a big word like no to remind myself this is the one we're not sending. And then I went into each one of them and deleted everything but one item. So it also would stay that way. And then I did like Casey showed last week when she did the show with you. I did like Casey did, where I finished those shipments off on the side, but I still have those doubled batches with 1 in stock. So now I don't know what to do with it. Do I just leave that batch sitting there and never close it? Like, I don't know what to do with it now.
If you haven't created the shipment, then you can close the batch. I forgot to mention that. Okay. If you make the shipment, though, it goes into your shipments and you cannot delete it.
See, and I hope that I didn't do that, because I did that one time when I was trying to manipulate the system.
Ship in the one item
before. Look, I'm going to go in there and play with that after we're off, and we're going to see how it looks. But okay. I want to mention this because this has never happened to me before. So it's got to have happened to somebody else out there, or you, and then anybody watching. It's like, I want then this to be a word of caution. Be careful if you inventory lab onto computers.
Inventory lab. Hold on. Let me see if I can. Hold on. I think I called it batch duplicated. Yeah. I'll see if I can find my notes, because all right. Hold on. This is from, let's see here. I did it in 2021. And let's see here. Sorry to hear your recent update. Typically things duplicating. I don't think they said exactly. They just said it's because I didn't refresh. You got to wait and not do it on 2, because it's working on 2 laptops. to not do it. So hold on, let me see if I can
Yeah,
see if
because
there
this
was an
is going
answer.
to
They told
eventually happen to somebody else out there. So it looks like I still have. It's like I did send it to Amazon because it divided it to the warehouses, but it's still sitting under my batches.
Okay, yeah, they just give me instructions on how to close the batch and how to restore the batch. So if you can close the batch, then it's fine. You don't have any problems. But if
Yeah,
you've
I'll
made the
screen share
shipment
it with
over to
you after
Amazon,
we're done on our live today.
yeah,
But be careful, everybody out there. If you do inventory lab on two different computers, or if you
like,
are working with people in your warehouse, or like my situation, my husband and I, it duplicated all of my batches, and I didn't want it sent to Amazon because when I was first trying to do box manipulation, when we had to do these multiple warehouses, and I was trying to figure it out, and that was before Casey kind of showed the way she does it. I just thought, oh, well, I'll just go delete them in Amazon. Well, I got dinged on those 3 shipments. So I have 3 dings on my account currently under the shipment, like policy violation, whatever it's called on your homepage. My warning rate, if you will, is far below, that threshold. So I'm not really in trouble for it, but I want to avoid any kind of dings and punishments on my account.
I did go in when I made the Barbie batch last week, and the one shipment that I had that I made the mistake of deleting all the Barbies out of inventory lab. So I couldn't add anything more with an inventory lab. I went over to Amazon and I can't delete it, and I cannot add anything to that batch now in Amazon either,
Yeah.
which is irritating. But anyhow, we're playing with the system, and if you're watching, you're like, oh my God, what the heck are you talking about? Just be aware that there are, like, we're all playing around with it, and we're trying to feel out what do we do now.
Yeah.
All right, Foab, I saw you there. Getting back to you here. Thanks. Quick follow-up. Can you get ungated? Who knows? Today maybe, tomorrow maybe not. The things with Nike and Adidas, from what I've read on all the boards, and I read a lot of the Facebook boards, Adidas is easily ungated. Nike's is now a hard gate for new sellers. So new sellers are not going to be able to apply to get ungated for Nike. That's what I've read. I have not verified or any of that, but
yeah, I can still currently sell both Adidas and Nike
yep.
in my account.
Yep, same here. Okay, next news. You can get a free month of storage if you sign up for the AWD for those that are looking for 3PLs and things like that. Oh, thank you, Nate.
Yeah, that was nice.
Very nice. For those that are looking for storage options, keep that in mind. And then let's see here, reduce with outlet deals. So this is just, they're promoting their outlet deals. I don't really do their outlet deals because I don't really feel like giving their people money. And I did Casey learned me yesterday or Wednesday or whenever we met, but the Vine program, you can have 2 free products in there. So I was like, I didn't do the Vine because I thought it was $200. Now I know that you can do the Vine, and you still have to give out your product for free, but you can do it for 2 products to get hopefully 2 reviews, which I guess you can get more reviews than that, but you can only do 2 products for free. Let's see here. UPS Ground Saver. This is a new one. This should be popping up. I've got some merchant fulfilled items today. Have you seen this Ground Saver?
I did not open this email. I have it saved and a little star on it in my email, so I won't delete it on accident. But I did see that an email came through on this, but I have not opened this yet.
This is 31% lower rates on thing. Non-urgent residential packages, PO boxes, military, all of that. The military is what gets me. I always lose money on military stuff. I always lose like $1 or something because shipping. But so this is interesting. I'll have to see if it's. I think I did see it yesterday. You know what? I'm almost positive I did see it yesterday. Now that I'm seeing the sign. Anyhow, cheaper rates. That's good.
It's always good. It helps balance out where we're paying higher rates on other parts of our Amazon business.
We got this flat rate on FedEx One. I don't do a lot of FedEx at all. I know some people do. So I thought I'd add that in there. So they reduced the fees with FedEx.
And make sure if you want to double check your shipping templates, because you want to make sure that you have opted to be able to ship these methods, or when you're creating your merchant fulfilled shipments, they're not going to come up as options. So you may want to go back and double check your shipping templates that you've selected, that you can ship USPS, UPS, FedEx, because then when you go to do your merchant fulfilled shipping and you have the little drop down arrow and you can check all of the rates, you don't have to automatically select the one that just populates. You do have other options in that drop down.
Speaking of that, I did a Loom video yesterday for a client. I have a client who just drops me, messages me every once in a while. I do work for him and then he sends me cash. So okay. Really nice guy, interesting business model, but he has a problem. He wants to only ship, we'll just call it UPS because I can't remember what it was. It was either USPS or UPS. And he's like, every time I go to ship, and he's shipping like 50 at a time, it'll be like USPS, UPS, USPS, because it's going to whatever his setting is. So if you go to your shipping template, click the edit button on the very top, there's a little edit button towards the right. And then that's where Tina's talking about. You can select the different things. Now with that, you can also scroll down in that same little box and there will be some preferences. You can preference the fastest shipping, the longest shipping, which is usually the cheapest, usually the more expensive. And then you can tell Amazon which preference you want exactly priority.
Yeah.
USPS first, then UPS. So within that, go and make sure your settings are correct so that it just streamlines your.
Yeah. And if you don't do merchant fulfilled at this time of year and only at Christmas, at least you'll be ahead of the game for Christmas time, because now you'll have those preferences done and out of the way while it's now fresh on your mind right now. And I want to circle around back to Nate. This is very, very kind of you. And I know you have given us little tips, cash, whatever you want to call it, before, as well as some other people that show appreciation if you got some value from something we have done. And I just want to say that I'm always like very humbly thankful for generosity.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All right. What do I got next? This was interesting. Sometimes I get a lot of people that do the Shopify, Walmart, Amazon. I had a client yesterday and they were like, we have a Shopify store. Is it better to do Amazon FBA or link the Shopify store through a third party to your Amazon merch listings, which is that's dependent on your business model and everything like that, because going through Shopify, which I have done, can be, sometimes the API feeds work, sometimes it doesn't. When it doesn't, it's very hard to troubleshoot. But VQ will do multi-channel shipping with your Amazon stuff. So if you have that type of business model, you may want to look into that company. Oh, this one. So I wanted to talk just really quick. If you've made a mistake making a listing, like my client made a mistake, number of boxes, he put 12. And like, no, it goes in a single box. Like, I don't even know where you got 12 from. I may message him and be like, what were you smoking that day?
Were there like 12 pieces of chalk in the box kind of a situation? So even though it's one box, he put 12.
It's a single item. I think he put, because it's 12 inches. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. But as you see, that field is locked. So in order to fix that, you have to delete the listing and then relist it. And we talk about this in our bundle group a lot, which if you're interested in learning more about that, I believe I linked our webpage that we got to continue to fix up. But on our webpage, we're now doing videos there that you can purchase, how-tos on this kind of stuff. Anyhow, we talk about this in the bundle group a lot. If you have those locked fields, you have to delete the listing, relist. And as you know, you got to copy all your data, because when you relist it, your bullets get lost, your description gets lost, your SEO gets lost. And that's one of the reasons I'm at home today filming, is my computer at work is on the fritz. It is overheating. And so I'm having trouble with it anyhow. And my husband took away my third monitor to see if that would help. And he's going to, he went to work with me yesterday and he was going to touch my computer. I'm like, don't close those tabs because I have cached data there. And the cached data, like, don't lose my SEO. Amazon. FOAP.
Aw, that was so kind. Wow, we're feeling the love today. Thank you so much.
Yes. Thank you. I've got to. Usually we go out for coffee when you guys tip like that. Tina and I, we go out.
We do. We treat ourselves when we meet up at ASD. We save it up.
Dunkin' Donuts. I need to go to Dunkin' Donuts. That sounds good. Iced coffee sounds really good. All right. This was interesting. We are pleased to announce you can now send permissible dangerous goods with Amazon shipping. So I haven't read this much, and I don't know, are they talking about merchant fulfilled or FBA? Do you know?
We are pleased to announce that you can now send permissible dangerous goods with Amazon shipping. This new service option is available through an updated user experience in Shipper Central and Buy Shipping, and is subject to additional requirements. Permissible dangerous goods are defined in the Amazon shipping policy, and then it has all the blah, blah, blah words. Examples would include aerosol sprays, perfumes, essential oils, and products containing lithium-ion batteries. So these are items that Amazon allows, but I believe you already have to be approved for hazmat, is my assumption. I'm approved for hazmat. And I know if you're not approved, there's currently a waiting list. They're not accepting new people. If you've already prior gotten approved and taken that little quiz, that allows you to send these things in. And I'm also wondering, does this apply maybe to merchant fulfill sellers? Because now can we buy our shipping label through Amazon for our merchant fulfilled, where we've always had to do it, or even just our FBA shipments outside of Amazon? I'm not sure what this means.
Okay, hold on. I'm going to click into it. Reno asked where we found it. It is within the email. So just type in your email, permissible dangerous goods. And hold on. I think I can share this. Am I still sharing screen over here?
Yes.
Okay. Versus
Windows. So is this for the people, you know how when you have, for those of you who sell hazmat and ship it into FBA, you always have to buy that shipping label off of Amazon and then upload your shipping information, your tracking number, into your Amazon shipment portal. So I'm not sure if that allows us to buy this shipping in Amazon now.
They do have the diamonds here. Hairsprays, bear sprays, deodorant, shampoo. Don't mix those up. Your hairspray and your bear spray, don't mix those up. Nail polish, hand sanitizer. They've got the battery things. What is required to become a dangerous goods? Navigate to settings, operations, click edit, and declare dangerous good line. Now select the UN numbers you plan to ship with Amazon. Click next. Review and accept the terms. You must add a point of contact who can provide an SDS and battery test sheet upon immediately. Okay, I'll have to look at this a little bit more. Let's see if we do a Control F, merchant, FBA. No, so neither FBA nor merchant fulfilled is in the document.
I may have to upload this as a PDF into ChatGPT and get a cliff note to know, but I'm sure that this is somewhat of interesting information for how this may change our shipping.
These battery things, if you're listing stuff with batteries and you don't know what your battery is, go Google it, because usually Google will answer your battery information. Most batteries are going to be below the 100 watts. And somebody who was selling a little fan, and this was fun. The listing title is fan with batteries. And then they put in the battery options, no batteries. And so, of course, I got flagged as having batteries. So they get on the call with me and I'm like, so does your product actually have batteries? They're like, oh, yeah. I'm like, why did you select no batteries? They're like, well, I didn't know what to do. but you select anyhow. I'm like, okay, you need to select, yes, it does have batteries. What batteries does it have? Well, this lithium ion, blah, blah, blah. So we typed it in and it was, I don't know, like AQ8, or they always have weird numbers and stuff. And had to get all the information and type it in and then go do the battery Excel sheet, which if you go to your seller account, type in dangerous goods, there will be a link to upload dangerous goods information. This is where you do your compliance paperwork, your MSDS paperwork, and over to the right is that battery spreadsheet and the chemical one. So if you need a chemical exemption or battery exemption, it's a flat file type of Excel file, which you've been working with them now. And what was your tip for Excel files with the Mac? You do CSV files now?
Well, yes. So I tried it yesterday when I had to do a flat file because I do have Excel, but on the Mac, and Lucy's worked with me with flat files on my computer, and it just makes her crazy because I don't get certain features because I'm on a MacBook. And so I purchased Excel. So I do have Excel on this computer I'm currently on, but they don't download correctly. Her IT husband and Lucy, both being very techno savvy, also could not help me rectify this stupid issue. And then on my Mac, I can access it and convert numbers to Excel. Anyway, hold on. I was sick and now I'm fighting allergies. So if you are doing flat files in numbers, instead of exporting to Excel, you can just export it. I can't remember if it was CSV or TSV.
It's not CVS because CVS is where you shop. It's CSV.
CSV files. You can download it into that, and that is an acceptable upload to Amazon, and that works. So for my fellow Mac users, know that you can do that in numbers. For the longest time when I was doing flat files, and that's why I had given up on them, I used numbers and I didn't realize, why Amazon was not accepting my uploads. And I just gave up on flat files. And Lucy spent a year being hell-bent on figuring them out because they were just so complicated. And she had hours of calls into seller support, and she finally figured it out. Now that I have workarounds and I have Excel on my computers, even though the Excel doesn't work great, I just have technical difficulties. I've been working with Lucy on some flat files. Now, some I can do on my own from her help, and others I'm like, okay, this one's complicated. I need you to hop on a call with me and help me figure this out. But that is definitely one of my goals this year. Now that I've got my bookkeeping in the bag, is I'm getting better and on doing flat files. I wouldn't say I'm a full-on expert yet, but now I can go in there and actually know what I'm doing.
It takes a lot of learning on flat files.
Yeah.
Which is, it should not be that hard, but it is.
It is, yeah.
And then you add the technical stuff on there, it's even harder. And my thing with the Mac is trying to learn all the Mac, because I do a lot of instructional videos when I sit with clients, and a lot of them are in Macs, unfortunately. You always hear them clicking because they like to click that button in the little pad there. I think that's the only reason Mac people use Macs, is the little mouse pad. They like clicking. Anyhow, it takes them 3 times. Every Mac user takes them 3 times longer to do something that an Excel person would. It is painfully slow, and I don't feel like they realize how slow it is until they come to the dark side.
As you know, this is a Windows computer. I work on for our show, so I also have this computer to work on. Yet the Excel downloads weird on this computer, and Lucy has tried to help me troubleshoot it. So is her husband.
So Excel is not weird, but the way it downloads, because it wants to open with Edge, right? Was it Edge?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, and I still think that I must have clicked a setting when I first set up the Excel when I bought it.
It's probably factory settings, and there is an error because we went in.
We did,
and we went through all the guides, people, and we don't offer any support there because we've done all the things. My husband is an IT support guy, and we went into all the settings, and even changing the settings didn't work. But anyhow, as I was saying, the commands on Mac, I don't have them all memorized. So I'm trying to memorize all the Mac commands, Excel commands, and then Google Sheets. And I've been playing with pivot tables in both Excel and in Google Sheets. So trying to flux between the three. Anyhow, I'm a spreadsheet junkie. So my name is Lucy. I'm a spreadsheet junkie. I do not plan on giving it up. I think that was all my slides for today. What do we got going on? What are you working on today? What am I working on?
Well, today we are doing some deep cleaning in our downstairs. I'm hosting Mother's Day lunch brunch here at the house, and with my son and his girlfriend expecting. My husband and I went through. I have a 2-story house, and so I've got a closet. As a lot of people have 2-story houses, you have that weird closet that's kind of like under the stairs. Mine is quite large, yeah. And so in that closet is where I've kept things like, the old family photo albums and my son's old baby pictures and baby stuff that I saved. Every mother has at least 3 totes of stuff filled with their kids' stuff, the favorite little baby outfits they had and their favorite school pictures they painted. Like every mother has kept these things. And so I went digging in that closet. So while we're in there, we're like, oh, what's this? We just found treasures. And we also found stuff like, why do we have this? Let's throw it away. Let's donate it. So we got a great pile under the staircase. And I pulled out all of his little baby boxes and photos and my pregnancy album. And so I was very limited how deep I dug into the box. I only went just like the little top layer for cutesy looksies. And so on Mother's Day, we're going to sit down and go through that to see if there's anything in there they would even want. And, what should I maybe now eliminate that I hung on to all these years of his baby stuff. So that should be fun stuff. And then we're going to make baby shower invitations on my Cricut. And so it's just going to be a fun little family hangout day on Sunday. So I'm wanting to clean and prepare the house for that. And I'm secretly thinking like, do I stop some of the cleaning? Or do I not start it to go to this estate sale? Because I'm a junkie. Junkie. I know I'm a junkie for
cleaning
going out. But then, as you know, you get caught up in that, and then you get home and it's late in the afternoon. You're like, oh, we got to start cleaning now. So yes, I'm tormented.
Or you don't have to clean. Your house is not that dirty.
Yeah.
I don't know. You're probably way cleaner than me. My level of cleaning is definitely lower than Tina's, but it's much higher than my husband's. So.
I'm not as sane as I used to be. When my kids were young, I was insane. I'm the person that, every week I cleaned everything top to bottom. My house looked like a model home, like how your mom's house is. I was obsessed with cleanliness to the point that every month, and I kid you not, and I had a huge house at the time, my kids were young, and my whole downstairs was nothing but tile floor. I would clean the grout once a month with a toothbrush. I would crawl on my hands and knees and it would take me hours. Like I was absolutely insane. Now that my kids are raised and everybody's older, I don't have the same zest for keeping my house immaculate. I got broke of that when I started becoming a reseller because it was impossible to not have stuff in my house and closets that were full. Something about, I don't know, maybe it came with age, but I quit cleaning with the same vigor that I used to.
When I was growing up, my mom made us clean the house for like 4 hours every Saturday morning. Yeah. And so I'm like, I'm not doing that when I'm an adult. I can do what I want. And so I don't do that. But we have a lady that comes every 2 weeks and does the basics so that we're not completely slobs. And she's nice. Anyhow, you know how if you've been working with somebody for so long, you don't want to let them go because it's a personal relationship now, right? She's really nice. And we know about, her troubles and everything. So anyhow, we don't want to let her go because we like her and she needs the money. But I'm like, she's not the best cleaner. She's not the worst. But like, if I were going to judge solely off skills, she does the basics, but it's not.
And then you find yourself cleaning up before the housekeeper comes. It's just
we have
before the housekeeper comes.
So in that aspect, that is really good because then we do pick up on a more frequent basis. But my husband and I, we've had this fight for years. And I said, I'm not going to keep nagging you. and we need to have a level of cleanliness. And he's like, I hate cleaning. That is one thing that I really would rather outsource. I would rather go do this. I will rather go do that. And time is money. And, I don't want to keep fighting with you because it was just me cleaning and then he wouldn't. Anyhow, so to save our marriage, instead of counseling, we got Our Lady. And anyhow, it works out. He likes talking to her and meeting her. It's kind of like I've been going to my hairdresser for 20 years. And I don't really care for my hairstyle, but I don't quite know how to tell her like what to change or what to do. I gotta look at some hair pictures.
You're so
But anyhow, I can't get rid of her because I've been going to her for 20 years.
so funny. Oh my gosh.
What do you do? But I know she would try whatever I wanted. I don't have a clue what I want for my hair.
Well, for all you ladies that are here joining us, happy Mother's Day this
Yes.
weekend. And all you guys, make their day special. Mother's Day comes before Father's Day for a reason. How good Mother's Day goes dictates how good Father's Day goes. That's what I've always said in my house.
I do want to say a couple of things. My son is coming into town, so I'm very happy about that. But I do want to give a shout out to everybody who has a mother or who has lost a mother. So
Yes.
And mother could be whoever raised you. It does
Yep.
not need to be a birth mother. Just saying.
That's right.
So happy Mother's Day to everybody out there.
Absolutely. Amen to that. All right, you guys, with that, have a great weekend. Enjoy your weekend, and we'll see you here next Friday.
Yep. Next Friday.